Peace. Welcome to the YouTube live book reading of Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. Divine days and evenings. Wow. Whew. Isn't it amazing? Right? That's why I had to make sure come on and deliver the light. Time for the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. And I'm Master Fitness Trainer Uriel Neville Riley. We pick up in chapter 25. Now, whew, we've been doing some work, getting it done, right? I'm so grateful and thankful for all that I have now and all that is coming to me. I hope you've had a wonderful day, busy day, or a chill and relaxed day. But whatever it is, I hope you manifested everything you wanted. Because I know I did. Here we go. Page 251 of this wonderful book by Leslie C. Youngblood. All right. Chapter 25. Beyonce better watch out. Beyonce better watch out. A few minutes later, Mama and Peaches came upstairs to check out my outfit and show off theirs. My vest had a long fringe, and I wore faded jeans that were chopped up at the bottom like cut up strips of paper. All my rollers were out, and I patted my afro until it looked like a chocolate lollipop. You look hip, G-Baby, Peaches said, using Frank's words. Peaches' outfit was a dress with geometric shapes on it that matched her purse and the scarf she had tied around her head, which hung down her back. Her afro wasn't as thick as it would have been before she was in the hospital, but Mama had tried to make it real round anyway. Peace, peace. I see the hearts. His heart love. Not hipper than you, I replied. If Peaches and I were hip, Mama was out of sight in her huge afro wig. Mama was wearing a jumpsuit that hugged every curve but was wide at the legs. At the end of her sleeves and around her neck hung a bunch of feathers. Everybody looks groovy. Now let's get on downstairs and do what, Peaches? I said. Get this party started, she shouted. As soon as we got downstairs, we found Frank in the living room straightening one of the rug liners, but I think he was waiting to see Mama. Ain't I just about the luckiest man in the world, he crowed. What do you mean just by about? She slapped his arm. He caught her hand and twirled her around, the feathers floating behind Mama like a bird. We weren't downstairs 5 minutes before the doorbell rang, and a few of Mama's friends came in with kids who knew Peaches. The little kids huddled around her for a moment, and I waited for her to emerge from the fully charged. But when they rushed to the backyard, she sort of lagged behind. Two of the girls slowed. As my heartbeat raced, I resisted the urge to go and swoop her up. Wait for Peaches, one of them yelled. Be careful, one mother shouted. She and the other ladies chatted on their way to the kitchen to drop off their dishes. I smelled everything from fried chicken to barbecued meatballs. Is Peaches okay? Okay? Nikki asked. Sorta. My voice cracked, but I didn't want Nikki to feel sorry for Peaches. She might think that I felt sorry for her when her asthma was acting up. Mama said it may be a while before she gets all her coordination back and stuff. It'll happen. Look at me. Oh, tonsillitis is not the same as meningitis. I didn't mean it like that, but it's still in operation and I couldn't talk. You remember? Yeah, okay, I got it. Thanks. Let's focus on Tangy and you know what else. Lucinda? Yep. She said that she stopped by but would only stay for a minute. Long as she has your bike, it doesn't matter how long she stays. Just stand by the door and greet everybody, I suggested. Cool. Forget about Lucinda. Checking the door is the best way to keep Tangy in and strange boys out. Doubt he'd show his face here. Why? Frank won't let him come over. He'll park around the corner or something. How you know all that? Just do. When Tammy comes, we'll give her all the info. One of us needs to keep watch outside, too, Nikki said. At that moment, Tangi waltzed down the stairs looking like one of the girls from that '70s show, but prettier. The clinking of her beads blended in with the music. She was wearing a mini dress with vinyl boots and earrings as big as training wheels. Go ahead, girl. That's how you do it. One of my one of Mama's friends shouted. You look marvelous, Tangy, I said. Wow, like a movie star, Peaches said, walking out of the kitchen with Mama. Some song where the singer kept repeating, Shake Your Groove Thing, was playing outside. Mama walked back into the living room carrying a silver tray piled with cheese and Ritz crackers. Frank strutted over to her, set it down, and glided Mama to the middle of the living room to dance. Peaches pointed. Look at Frank. We'd never seen Frank dancing before. I guess that's how he moves when they got out to do the whole shebang. Mama's friends grabbed their dates and started dancing right next to her and Frank. Somehow, Nikki and I ended up on the floor with Peaches dancing next to Mama and Frank too, and Tangi was left at the door greeting guests. I held Peaches as she swayed off beat with a few of her friends, but I still kept an eye on Tangi. Frank kissed Mama's cheek. Save me a dance later, beautiful. I gotta go to tend to the grill. Them ribs aren't going to flip themselves. He headed back outside. I glanced at the watch I'd put on just for the party. It's almost 6:30, I whispered to Nikki. We can't let her out of our sight, Nikki whispered back. I don't know why, but I glanced at the door and expected to see Kevin. While I was dancing with Peaches, she stopped and pointed at the door. She didn't even try to make her voice carry over the music, but her eyes shined. Daddy! Daddy! I shouted for the both of us, and through the door strolled Daddy in a silky gold shirt, bell bottom pants, and platform shoes that made him seem 8 feet tall. Unlike Frank, he didn't have an afro, but he was wearing a big floppy hat. I scanned the room for Mama. If she could see him really trying to make us happy, maybe she wouldn't be mad at him. That's a funny hat, Daddy, Peaches said. What? Daddy said. This was cooler than a Kangol back in the day, called an Applejack Jack. Daddy swooped Peaches up with one arm and drew me to his side with the other. Just behind him, Millicent waved to us. Her dress flowed down to her ankles with what looked like pieces of broken glass glued on it. She had a ponytail wrapped with gold twine, making it stand straight up on her head. And my guest for the evening is none other than the soul stirring, head turning Miss Nina Simone. Daddy announced. Millicent pretended to hold a mic and then tossed her head back to the belt out to belt out a song. I can't carry a note in a bucket, Millicent said, unlike the high priestess of soul. Grandma Sugar played Nina Simone's music sometimes, even the one about Mississippi that had a curse word. Can't shelter you from hearing every bad word, but you best not repeat 'em, Sugar would say. Later, Grandma Sugar told me that the Bogalusa, she couldn't go to the same school or even use the same restrooms as white people. When she was a little girl and Nina Simone had gone through the same thing. After that, I understood why that song used a bad word, even if I couldn't repeat it. Then I thought of Marshall standing up for his classmate and wished Tangi could be with him somewhere she wouldn't get hurt. You sure look groovy, Millicent said to me. So do you. I hugged her. A little part of me was hugging Nina Simone too. And before I knew it, I said, "Thanks for helping get my sister to the hospital." "That's nothing to thank me for, Georgie. I'm sorry, Georgie. I appreciate it though," she said. "Where's your mama?" Daddy said. "She's in the kitchen. Want me to go get her?" "Best not. With all she has going on, we'll see each other soon." I knew for sure that Mama could probably hear Daddy's voice, and Daddy knew that Mama always says, if I'm not doing 10 things at once, I'm not getting anything done. But I just let it go. Maybe just having them under the same roof would have to do. "Come see my friends, Daddy," Peaches said. I started to go with Daddy and Peaches, but Nikki pulled the fringe on my vest. We eased back closer to Tangi, who was still standing at the door and talking on her phone. "You kinda lucky," Nikki said. "Why?" I asked. "You have your daddy and stepmom, mom and stepdad all in one house at the same time. When my mama sister tries to do that, she calls it World War III." "Well, it was almost that at the hospital," I said. I didn't tell Nikki that Mama may just be putting on that happy face for Peach's sake. There was a knock at the door. Nikki and I stared at it like the thumps were sounds we'd never heard. Tangi opened it. "Is that my oldest grandbaby? Sugar, sugar!" I shouted. "Well, you are too hot to trot, Miss Angie," Sugar said as she hugged her, then held her at arm's length. "You got it going on, girl." "You do too," Tangi replied. "I do all right. I do all right," Sugar said and laughed. "There's one of my babies. Where's the other one?" Sugar asked as we hugged. "Mama said you were already in Bogalusa," I said, taking in the scent of her wind song. "I was, and I'm going back soon. But when Trina said there was a party in honor of my peaches, you better believe I put the pedal to the metal." She wore a cream colored dress with a short cape with tons of sequins at the end of it. "Look at your dress, Sugar. You'd win the best dress contest," I said. "Yes, indeed. Diana Ross and Beyonce better watch out." Sugar put her hand on her hips. I put my left hand on my hip, too. "Stop acting like you got a shape now," Nikki said. Grandma Sugar laughed. "Don't you worry, G baby. You'll have more hips than you know what to do with one of these days." James Brown was wailing, "Papa's got a brand new bag." I looked at Nikki and she rolled her eyes at me. "You still gonna be skinnier than me," she said. "Skinny or curvy, you'll both be fine as wine," Grandma Sugar said and snapped her fingers. I love me some James Brown. Now, where's Miss Peaches? Where's my youngest grandbaby hiding? "She's outside with Daddy." I said, but as I turned around, the back door opened and Peaches scurried into the living room. Sugar met her halfway and kneeled down in front of her like she would when she said a prayer. Peaches took both of Grandma Sugar's hands and hopped right into the middle of the living room floor as James Brown now told everybody to get on the good foot. Can I have everyone's attention, please? Let's make our way down to the basement. Frank waved his long arms to the entrance to the basement. People chatted as they headed down the stairs. I waited for Tangy, then followed her. It was 10 minutes after 7. Downstairs, the strobe light was flashing and streamers were hanging everywhere. The Welcome Home Peaches banner Tangy and I made stretched along the wall. I had to admit that it was looking pretty spiffy, and I was feeling awful proud. So proud that it took Nikki 2 or 3 nudges of my shoulder before I could snap out of my trance. Gee, baby, look, Nikki whispered. They're inching along the wall like stuck up snails were Lucinda Hightower and another girl. That's her cousin Rhonda. Peace. Highest heart love. Highest heart love, El Bluggy. Much love. I meant to make you a mod. Let's give you this love. See if you get this. Okay. And there we go. Awesome. Yay. Highest heart love. I hope you get that love. Thank you for coming to the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. So we are now in the 25th chapter, page 258 for those reading along and in the playlist. All right. That's her cousin Rhonda. Both of them had on ripped jeans and t-shirts that showed their belly buttons. Rhonda's shirt had a glitter peach on it, and Lucinda's shirt said, "How about no?" If I was ever going to be jealous of Lucinda, it was that moment. Mama wouldn't think about buying me a shirt that sassy. Even Nikki had a Bye Felicia shirt. I tore my eyes from Lucinda and tried to pay attention. Let's make sure the guest of honor is front and center, Daddy said, and picked up Peaches. As people chatted, Mama strolled from Frank's den, pushing a cart with a cake as large as a big screen TV. It had 4th of July sparklers on it, and the icing spelled Celebrate Life. We love you, Peaches. Everyone clapped. I looked over at Lucinda, and her arms were folded like she had somewhere else to be. That made me want to go soccer. I know she saw me looking her way and acted like she didn't. Nikki was next to me clapping until she noticed Lucinda wasn't clapping and then folded her arms across her chest too. Miss Cora was passing out red plastic champagne glasses that Mama had bought at the dollar store. Another one of Mama's friends filled the kids' glasses with sparkling apple juice. Mama cleared her throat and wiped her eyes. Take your time, baby, Grandma Sugar said. It can't get any more frightening than when a mother can't make her child well. But thank God and all of you for your prayers and support. Peaches is getting stronger every day, and we can't love her any more than we already do. Mama raised her glass. Hear, hear, everyone cried and tapped their glasses together like it was New Year's Eve. Lucinda whispered in Rhonda's ear as soon as Mama stopped talking. I would have given everything in my piggy bank to hear what she said. If it was one mean thing about Peaches or anybody else, I was going to snatch her lips off. Then suddenly I realized When Mama had started talking, Tangy had been standing at the bottom of the stairs. When Mama finished her speech, Tangy wasn't there anymore. I know, isn't that funny? The Bible. I know. Oh, Tangy's not there no. But just as I started to move, Mama stepped over from across the floor and stood in front of Daddy for the first time that evening. The girls really appreciate you being here, George. Don't you? Peaches and I both nodded. I'm just sorry there was any question that I'd come, Daddy said. I was out of line, Mama said. Same here. Should have called you first thing. You do a good job of making sure I know what's going on with my girls. It was an emergency. Getting Peaches to the hospital was all that mattered. We good, Cat? Daddy asked. Mama nodded, but her eyes searched the floor just like Nikki's did earlier. Daddy kissed Mama on the cheek. Peach's ponytail smushed into Daddy's shoulder. It was like that kiss he'd given her after the divorce was final and he came to dinner with us for the first time since he moved. Things work themselves out, Georgie, she said. Mama waved to Millicent, who was talking to Sugar. When Millicent stepped over, Mama took Millicent's hand in hers. Thank you again for everything you did to take care of Peaches, she said. Didn't mean those things I said before. Millicent said, forgotten. Just grateful Peaches is back where she belongs. Millicent pinched Peaches lightly on the cheek. Come on now. This is a celebration. No time for all this mushiness, Daddy said. No mushiness, Peaches repeated and lifted her head from his shoulder. Daddy wiggled his fingers like he does when he's revving up for a tickling frenzy. Peaches started giggling before his fingers touched her stomach. When they did, she reared her head back and laughed. George, careful. That medicine she's on upset her stomach. Medicine's medicine, Daddy said, but immediately stopped tickling her. Over Peaches giggling, Daddy asked Mama, where'd your old man go? Where else? Out to the grill, Mama said. Daddy kissed Peaches' cheek and said, let's book on out there and see if that cat's got any skills on the grill. I left Mama and Millicent chatting like they might even become good friends. Well, maybe that's pushing it, but it was better than before. I spotted Tammy and walked toward her. My only hope now was that while I was with Mama and Daddy, that Nikki had her eyes on Tangy. Sorry, I'm just getting here, Tammy said. Cool party, she added. She had on a regular t-shirt and jeans, but a bandana was tied around her head that had a peace sign on it, and she was wearing earrings and with dangling silver cubes. I didn't know Lucinda was coming. She's brought my bike. Nikki tried to sound happy about it. Let's talk about that after we find Tangy, I said. You didn't see her when you came in, did you, Tammy? Nope, she said, kicking her feet out like she was ready to Cupid shuffle. I ran upstairs as fast as I could. When I didn't see her in the living room, I ran outside where the DJ was playing. Do the hustle, do the hustle. And everybody was dancing in line. If I didn't think it would send everyone into a panic, I would have stood right in the middle of the yard and shouted Tangy's name. The den. Forgot to check the den. I flew back into the house and rushed back down the stairs. Nikki and Tammy were waiting for me at the bottom of the stairs. All I wanted to do was enjoy the party. Any luck? Nikki asked. No. But Frank's den is down here, I said, and started off for the opposite end of the basement. In the den, Mama had a DVD of Soul Train playing, and a few grown ups were dancing. Someone was even trying to get a Soul Train line going, like they did in that Tyler Perry movie. Let's get back upstairs, I said to Nikki and Tammy. It's almost 8, Georgie, Nikki said. She could be in her room, I said. We snuck up to the second floor. My door was open, so was Peach's, but Tangie's was closed. Closed tight. We all stood around in the hall. Nikki or Tammy couldn't understand how nervous I was. My palms were sweating like I had on gloves. If we stepped in her room and she called us, I'd be forever a Snoop Tattler. You think we missed her down there? Nikki asked. Maybe, I said, but couldn't help staring at her door. Tammy popped her gum. What if she left earlier? She could be anywhere in Atlanta by now. What help are you? Nikki said. Anyway, we saw her not too long ago. Are you up there, G baby? Mama yelled. Lucinda's asking for you. Get back down here soon. If Tangi is up there, tell her Val is here. Okay, I'm coming, Mama, I shouted. Then I whispered to Tammy, stand by the stairs and holler if you hear anybody come up. With Nikki behind me, I knocked on Tangi's door and waited. There was no answer. Then it opened. Oh, and that's completion of chapter 25. I know, what is Tangi doing? Oh my goodness, it's so good. Oh, hi, it's Heart Love. Ahmad's are in the building. I know this is so good. Thank you so much for the likes and subs. Thank you for reading with us, the peaceful part of YouTube where we read books and learn from masters. This masterful book right here, Love Like Sky by Leslie C. Youngblood. Thank you so much for reading with us on this beautiful day and evening. We're going to the turquoise cloud tonight. I was making sure, I was like, we have to go to the turquoise cloud. Make sure we do it. Thank you so much for being here and reading with us. All my friends and family, love to all the solar returns. Hi, it's Heart Love. We had some beautiful solar returns today. And we've also had some people that have elevated. And so we want to honor them as well. So let's have a glass of love water in honor of those solar returns and all those that have elevated. In one of my poems, I always say, it's one of my favorite lines. It says, and it'll be in Manifest in Dreams when I published that this year. But it's an amazing poem. And I started off and say, when the soul flies, ignorance dies. We love you. When the soul flies, ignorance dies. Hi, it's Heart Love. Love you. I love you. I love you. I love you. Glass of love water. Always staying honorable. Thank you so much for reading with us. Isn't this been really nice? Yeah, I'm very, very happy about how this book is really reading to us and opening up the imagination. Another one, a magnificent part about this book is that we've done with a lot of the other books because they're very high informational was we would take notes. And so now we can just relax and just read and just enjoy it, you know? Thank you so much. I love you too. Highest heart love. Yeah, I was just talking about that. You know, with all the other books, right? They was taking notes worthy. And this one is just, you know, receive. So thank you so much. So thankful and grateful for all I have now and all that is coming to me. Highest heart love to all our friends. You've had any events this weekend, and oh man, I hope you did an amazing job. If you got to go see the Michael movie, I hope you enjoyed it and just enjoyed the entertainment. And to all the people that want to elevate themselves, here's a gem. You know, always got to give a master's gem. Try doing things that you do normally with your dominant hand, like brushing your teeth or underlining, um, throwing things. Do it with the other hand. This will start to spark some and connect some new neuron pathways. So I wanted to give you that gem. So much greatness. Look at this beautiful National Geographic. I know you'll appreciate this. That's what I'm showing. Look at that. You see the 1991 of May. You see that? May 1991. There's some powerful photos in this. And you also get to see how savage some people are. I wish all is well. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, we did it again. All right. I love you, you. I love you. I know it. Because I love myself and I know you do. Bite is so classic. I collect National Geographics. I just love to read. Thank you so much for being here with me. Oh, Barney, yes, that's right, that's right. You know, it was one day, you know, I'm gonna get up there and book reads on this YouTube channel, you know, and we'll just put a collage, a whole montage of singing "I Love You." Right? We can do it together. Thank you so much for being here. Honor and highest heart love. Y'all have a wonderful evening. The turquoise cloud tonight. All right, for restoration. We'll write some more poetry. Coming down to the last few days of Poetry Month and Jazz Month. So highest heart love. And look, just because. You see that? Turquoise cloud. I'll see you soon.